Chris, my man, what is it that you sell?
So I'm currently selling for one of the biggest social media people in the space, content creator slash everything. The School of Hard Knocks. The guy who interviews millionaires and billionaires. He has a content course where he teaches business owners how to utilize social media and basically blow up your brand from there. So I'm essentially an appointment setter for him currently,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's basically what I do.
Yeah, amazing. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, a lot. Very cool.
The people you work with and the company size is no joke. You were talking about like the the amount that you guys made in January, which we don't have to go into, obviously, because that's like confidential, private. But the success that the company's having is crazy, and it's amazing to see you working with them on such a close level because you're also helping them hire and build out their team a little bit with other clients that we have, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's the thing, right? When you start to kind of build a connection with them, because the thing is I joined in like it literally wasn't an offer at the time when I joined. I
Hmm.
joined. Like it was just an idea and the foundations were like not even really laid out. Like I remember going into the first like call with everyone, being like, "Yeah, guys, do you have any suggestions?" I'm like, "What?" But it was already built out, and
Mm.
it was more so like they were just going on the fly. Obviously, they were very skilled people, but they always
Yeah.
wanted to hear from me as well. And doing so and being with the team now for close to a year, you build up quite a relationship with them, to the point where when the manager asked me to, hey, do you know a couple of sales guys? We need some more people. And I'm like, of course I do. Like I have my community, I have my network. And so I went in and I got the people. He was very happy with that. And that was a while ago. And I've again replicated that. He was looking for 4 DM setters ASAP. And within one night, I had 6 applicants ready to go. And so the next day, we had a full team ready for the
Amazing.
product.
Amazing. Amazing. And so what like just so people could maybe understand a little bit more about what it is that you do, because
Sure.
you're an SDR, you're an appointment setter, but like what are
Yeah.
your responsibilities? Like what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so essentially we get or the people coming in, booking in for calls, usually come through ads,
Hmm.
and they book in through ads for closers. I have to take care of two closers calendar, which means as soon as a lead person books in, I have to call them to verify and qualify them to make sure they actually, yeah, essentially qualified for our services. Do they
Hmm.
have the money? Can we actually help them? Do they have a problem we can help with, right? That's the
Yeah.
most important part, making sure we actually can help them. And yeah, so that's basically what I do. I call these people, send out messages, making sure they get on
Hmm.
board to that closing call
Hmm.
properly and that the closer has everything they need so they can make sure to close the person on that call.
Amazing. Amazing. And I guess so people can get a better understanding as well is like that's obviously your responsibility, qualifying them and ensuring that, they're not wasting time for the closers or themselves, right? And I'm
Right.
sure you have a process in place if they're not
Yeah.
qualified, what you do with them to make sure that
Yeah.
they, come back when they are qualified, etc.
Exactly.
But I'm curious, like for you,
Hmm.
you obviously, we can talk a little bit more about what you were doing before, but you didn't have previous sales experience, so you went straight into setting, right? And we had a conversation yesterday on the one-on-one saying that now you want to get into closing. And
Yeah.
I just want to understand your thought process. Like, is there a reason you started as a setter, or was it just kind of the opportunity was there as a setter and it's a great
Mhm.
company, so you took it?
Yeah. So it's a good question. Like going into it, when I first didn't have any experience and I was outreaching to these different companies, I was having the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna apply myself for both. I'm just gonna
Hmm.
basically, I was doing a lot of outreach. I was trying both. I was doing both closing, I was doing both setting, but at the same time being confident, yes, I can close. Yes, I can do the setting, like
Hmm.
anyways. but yeah, as you say, right, this opportunity came up. They were looking for setters specifically, and I was like, okay, this is too good of opportunity to pass up. So I was like, okay, let me do this then. And obviously, yes, with closing, you can earn a lot more, but it comes with a lot more responsibility. And me being a little bit introverted, I think that would be like for me just that softer landing, like starting up to setting to then eventually transition. But I don't see any harm of like starting straight away with the closing either way,
Yeah,
like still be fine. It's
yeah,
just actually the matter of learning the skill. It's going to take
100%.
a little longer with
A
closing.
hundred percent. 100%. And so for you, like you said, you applied for both, um,
Yeah,
and then you landed this role as a setter. You
yeah,
also worked other opportunities, I remember,
I did. I did.
because there was a time and a place where you nearly left this opportunity early on, which
Yeah,
is very funny considering the success that you've seen appointment setting with them.
yeah,
So walk me through that, like what kind of other offers have you worked on as well? And
yeah.
also, you know, why did you nearly leave the opportunity that you're on now?
Okay. So, yeah, I would say the other offers that I was like on, they were like I wouldn't say the most typical ones. One of the offer I was on was quitting porn for good,
Hmm.
which is a very interesting one, but it has very high potential because it is a big alarming problem nowadays. And it's essentially kind of like dating. It's like it's for, men mostly that we have some women. Uh, but yeah, I was on there for I think like 2 weeks until I got this opportunity. And actually, before I joined the porn one, I was actually helping a guy doing DM setting again. I was he had like a faceless Instagram theme page and he was basically selling his course. And I basically managed the DMs of one of his big accounts, had like over 200K followers, but lead quality was just terrible. Like most people, like they followed him like 3 years ago. So it was just not great. And I remember that was my very, very first opportunity. And that was like within a week or two of like coming like actually getting into sales. I remember being so scared because he had like a SOP, which is basically
Hmm.
like, okay, what do you do if this happened and this happened? He had such a big SOP that it kind of scared me. I remember talking to you guys about it, or Dan specifically, and I was like, dude, there's like 50 page of an SOP for every single thing. And I was like, what is this, right? And yeah, I think at the every step of the way, I've always asked you guys like, what is this? Because I had no obviously experience from the past. So like there was a lot
Hmm.
of new stuff for me. And
Hmm.
a lot of stuff when they were asking me on calls, I was kind of half asking it at the beginning because I had no idea what it meant or what it was. I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, let's do it. um, but yeah, soon enough, I left that one. That kind of really shocked me because I was like, damn, that sucks. That was so bad. I didn't like that at all. And then I got this porn offer,
Hmm.
which seemed very good. It had a very good team. Like they were very great people. But
Hmm.
then again, they were just very new. They were
Yeah,
not closing. It was just struggling, and I was putting in the work, and it was really frustrating.
yeah.
And at the same time, I was working at this offer. I got the opportunity off the School of Hard Knocks, which I was like, wow, okay, this sounds amazing, but how true can it be? Because it's at the very beginning, and I was like, I remember talking to you guys being like, nah, it seems fishy. Like there's no way like this is real. And I was like contemplating everything I was doing on the other offer and this one. I was like, oh, but the other offer, like it's such a great team, and the other one was like it hasn't even really started yet. Like I remember waiting to actually get started to like start like DMing people and calling people because like the offer was just not ready, right? I had to wait like after being hired, I had to wait like 1.5 weeks before I could actually begin because that's like the time they took to like properly set everything up. And I remember in this time I was like, dude, should I just leave? Because it doesn't feel like this is a like
Yeah,
I was just
exactly.
contemplating a lot. I was thinking a lot in my head and I was being like, surely I can find something that is already established and
Mm.
better. But I ended up staying because I saw it was basically like Bitcoin 2008. I saw the potential. It was just so crazy.
Yeah, much faster than that, but yes. But yes,
Yeah.
uh, crazy, crazy. And so you've to talk about it, right? Like how have you performed? Like what was your best month working at the School of Hard Knocks?
Yeah, so my best month working with the School of Hard Knocks, I made 8K, and
Hmm.
that was actually last month. So I
Hmm.
made 8K and cash collected a little over 284K in cash collection, quarter of a
Wow.
million. It's kind
Mm.
of crazy. I had to dip it and talk with some guys of the community, and that's a lot of money if you think about it. And yeah, it made me realize, the power of consistency and compounding and, patience. Because
Yeah.
there were so many times I wanted to, leave this offer, but also like actually quit sales completely because
Mm.
I was like, this is not for me. Like with sales, it's like you gotta have such a thick skin to be in the game, bro. Because it takes a lot out of you, but you will reap the rewards once you know, take the patience seriously.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's it's a skill thing? Like the more skilled you are, the easier it is. So like it's okay. Like
Um,
what I'm curious, like what made you keep going?
I think, I mean, skill has something to do, yes, but I think the people that say like, oh, it doesn't matter if the offer, if the skill is there, I'll close either way. I don't think that's completely true. I think there needs to be an element of the offer actually being good and actually delivering what they say.
Yep.
Because as a salesman, you can't sell something if like what you're selling is kind of broken, right? You want to stand behind something with confidence and making sure like, okay, I can actually help this person. It's going to help you sell a lot easier that way, right?
Hmm.
Sorry, what was the question again?
I said what made you push through?
What made me push through? I think thinking about thinking about the promises and kind of like why I'm doing this again. For me, it was I didn't want to go to university. So this is like the only thing I had. I wanted to make it work. I wanted to make money online. I made it happen, even though in the times where like I didn't make anything in 1 month or I was barely making 1K, but I still kept going because I knew at the other side there would be something great waiting for me. So
100%.
I think it's just persistence and you know, people leave exactly right before it goes up. You have seen the guy with the axe and the diamond and he turns
Yeah.
around. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm thinking about always. Like if I'm like near to quitting, is like, dude, you're so close to the diamonds. Don't turn around now. So that's
Hmm.
kind of my mindset is like I think about my why, like the promises I made to myself when I first was starting that I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be
Yeah.
crazy at sometimes, but you got to push through because it's gonna pan out either
A
way.
100%. 100%. That's what we say all the time. Like I really want to make it so like abundantly clear that this isn't the industry that it is like advertised as by a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
Work 3, 4 hours a day, do
No.
Pilates, drink matcha, drive
Bro,
a rented car. Like it's
it's
not.
honestly the opposite. It's the opposite,
Yeah,
I would
it's
say.
it's not like that at all. And it's super important, like to me, that it's just clear the expectations because that's why we get like amazing results for people like yourself, is because we're like very honest with you and we're like, hey, this is going to be a grind. This is, you got to focus on the skill level. You got to focus on working with the right opportunities that we, put in
Yeah.
the job board and show you how to, apply and really apply yourself as much as possible because you can change your life pretty quickly. Because a year ago, I remember, dude, you just left the army. You were in a position where you were like, I have to make this work, otherwise I need to go to university. And look
Yeah,
at where you are now. You made 8K
exactly.
last month
Yeah.
by through commissions of selling 250K worth of stuff. Not
Yeah.
just that, you've been to Miami, you've been to Panama recently. Like there
Yeah.
are some amazing things that come with this industry, but it's not how it's advertised online by so many people that it's like just gonna happen like that. And
Exactly.
that's why I think a lot of people get put off this industry is because of those expectations as well. But for me, the
Yeah.
reason why we don't set those expectations, like get rich quick, whatever, is because you attract the wrong people, one, but two, it's way harder to get success for those people because they have a very different perception of reality and they think it's just going to fall on their lap. And that's why
Yeah.
we're very clear to you. I remember telling you, push through, man. You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
Yeah.
And look at where we're at now.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's something to do also with our generation where everything needs to be going so fast, like
For
everything needs
sure.
to be automatic. Now you have
Yeah.
AI as well taking over.
Mm.
It's kind of cooked that way because there's a lot of people that are in sales that shouldn't be in sales and they're horrible. Like if you look at the online space or just the high ticket space right now, it's shambles, is chaos because
Mm.
people don't know how to sell and they think like they all breathe the commission breath as you call it and they're just looking for money. They just do want to do it quick. They are not doing it properly. They're talking like AI and it's not working and they're wondering why it's not working because dude, you're not being genuine, you're not being yourself, you're being a freaking
Yeah.
robot
Yeah.
and that's
100%.
never going to work. So I think
No,
having the
100%.
core values of like, bro, keep it simple, bro, it's
Yeah.
going to work out that way, like be a
Yeah.
human.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And that's also kind of what how like we talk about selling, right? Very, it's just a conversation. Sales is just a conversation. People overcomplicate the
Yeah,
hell out of sales. It's
yeah,
just a
they do.
conversation. And the people who see the most success in sales are the ones who aren't scared to challenge people, one, and they are actually themselves completely. And they are very comfortable being themselves and very secure. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I love this industry is because the more you make in high ticket sales, it's a reflection of the personal development that you undergo.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I would definitely.
Um, you need to be congruent with the person you want to become, right?
Mhm.
And you need to be like that person today before you even have that. And that's super hard. It's the reason why there's not a lot of people like making billions because, seeing that level of success requires strict discipline, very strong mindset to keep going and to deal with the lows and the highs. And this
Yeah.
industry has lows and highs, right? But it's very, for me now, it's easier to manage because I understand the game, right? And probably for you now, it's way easier to manage, correct me if I'm
Right.
wrong, than it was when you started.
9 day difference, come on. At the beginning, I was stressing out over everything. Now I can process things a lot more, take it with a grain of salt. Because a lot of people also, as you say, like everyone is flashy. Like OTE is usually boosted up way more than it should be. Uh,
Hmm.
on tracking earnings for those who don't know. Yeah, everything is just fake. So every time I see something now, it's like I take it with a grain of salt. Or we face as salespeople, like we face rejection every single day, and you kind of
Hmm.
handle, you know how to like brush it
Yeah.
off because it's just, yeah, it's just another human being. They
Hmm.
don't want you, that's fine. It's gonna come a next one. Like, don't worry. So
Yeah.
just have that
100%.
mind.
On that, you mentioned something where like, okay, there is a lot of like fakeness in this industry because it's online, right? But the way
Yeah,
I look at it is it's the same in real business, right? That you have bad businesses, bad people, and you also have good businesses and good people.
yeah.
How do you navigate that? I'm curious to hear your thought process behind that because we obviously tell you, what to look for, what to avoid, things to look out for, questions to ask. But I'm curious, like for you, if you were to say one thing, like what is
Hmm.
the one thing that you look for to separate the good and the bad in this industry?
Hmm. Good in and the bad of what exactly do you mean?
What
Just
you
so
mentioned, the fakeness.
I feel like sometimes it's pretty easy to tell if someone is being real or
Hmm.
fake.
Hmm.
What I was thinking about was, putting up fake numbers. Usually, if
Hmm.
I can see a person who actually has proof,
Hmm.
testimonials, or that kind of jazz. Actually, video testimonials are the best ones because text doesn't matter. You can literally make them yourself. you can also make the video once, but I feel like if you've done that, like you're literally a loser and you've gone too far. That's my that's what I think about that. But what I look for is someone who, you know, is being real and like they actually show they prove like what they have done without flexing it, if that makes sense. And it's fine to be to like cars, to like watches and all that kind of jazz. Because I know people like I'm not that big of that guy that like obsesses about a car and that kind of jazz, but I know
Hmm.
people that do. I also know people who are genuine and have a lot of money and maybe they drive a nice car, and then the fake people, you can just feel it in the air. It's the energy they bring, sort of. You can kind of feel it at sometimes. The
Hmm.
vibration, it's definitely different. But what I would say is anything you see in the space, take it with a grain of salt because you never know.
Hmm.
But for me, what I look for is proof. I want
Yeah.
to make sure proof. And then if I actually want to connect with someone, I obviously try to establish a relationship with that person. And I think you'll quite quickly understand, okay, this guy is a fake or this guy is actually genuine, right? Because you
Hmm.
have the people in the space who actually want to help people and make money that way. And then there's only the people that just want to make money for making money, which is
Hmm.
fine, but like in a frugal way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. It's very interesting. And no, it's a good advice, I think, to someone. Just look for that real proof, uh, that
Yeah.
undeniable proof, and take things with a pinch of salt. With you, right? We've spoken obviously about the, where you've gone to, right? We spoke a little bit about where you started, but we've spoken about obviously the 8K months. You're transitioning now into closing, which is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very much looking forward to helping you do that. But also there's, you know, where you started from before you were making 8K a month, before you were traveling to Panama, Miami, you even went to Greece and Spain. You've been all over, brother.
Yeah.
Before all of that,
Yeah.
where were you at in life? Like, what were you doing?
Like right as I started with high ticket sales, or do you mean prior to high ticket sales? When I started high ticket sales?
Take it how you will. Where were you
Mhm.
before you were in this industry? It's
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, I was in the army,
Mm,
and I mean, I got introduced to you guys before I joined the army, but I was wrestling in my mind was like, am I going to join this? I knew because I've done 13 years of school. And in the back of my mind, probably since the seventh, sixth, fifth grade, I was like, dude, I don't want to work like a 9 to 5. I don't want to sit on my chair all day. Like I am a creative person. I want to travel. I want to do all these things in my life. So I tried a lot of different stuff, right? I tried to become a YouTuber. I tried selling on Etsy. I tried different shit. Obviously didn't work out because I was young and stupid and didn't understand much. But I tried at least, you know. And then the
100%.
military came and I was like, dude, it's getting very close to the point where okay, I need to make a decision. Like maybe like either I'm going to the university and going down that path or I take a risk. And then you guys popped along and I was like, dude, this is it. Like this is what I need to do. And obviously, I was taking it with a grain of salt because I was like, I mean, there's many fakes out there. You can't trust anyone. But dude, like after talking with you, like for some time, I had to think about it, obviously, giving the classic objection. But even with the army, I was thinking about it more and more. And once it became a little more quiet in the army for me, I actually joined you guys because I was like, dude, I need to do this.
Mm.
And I guess that was kind of like a blessing and whatnot. I mean, I joined when when I was in service, so it was not great. I had to go to bed at 10 p.m. and I had to like for calls and like group calls and like one-on-ones doing role plays. I had to go up in the attic of the freaking camp and just sit there, completely head shaved off in a green shirt, kind of whispering because I was not really supposed to be there. but I still was, and I was repping out, learning the frameworks, learning the skill set, to the point where I realized like I can't do this. And I remember telling everyone in the community and you guys about this, and they were like, I knew like people were saying like, okay, I'm never gonna see this guy again. Like he's not coming back. Like this is the end. And I was like, I promise I'll come back. And I had it in the back of my mind. I had still a notifications on my phone, so I would still be remembered. Like it wouldn't go away either, like whatever I did. And so I left. I mean, I didn't leave. I just was not
Yeah, you
participating.
took like a pause, you took a break because you we were having a hard time balancing the army and this, which is normal.
Exactly.
And then I remember we were like, okay, dude, it's not a problem. We're gonna
Yeah.
pause your membership and then we're gonna start it again when you're ready. Uh,
Yeah.
I I honestly remember when you said that, the way you said it. I did actually have a strong feeling that you were going to come back. You obviously never know in these things because life can happen, but I had a strong feeling that you were going to come back. And when you came back, I was so happy. But it was funny you mentioned there you seeing all the notifications because there were a lot of clients winning, so you probably were like, "Fuck, I need to get into this."
Exactly. And I had that for the rest of the year, reminding myself what I
Mm.
had to get back to once I finished the army, which I ended up doing, right? So I finished the army literally 2 days after finishing the army. I'm back into the community and I'm grinding my ass out. So what happens is I moved into this house with my family in this little cave. I don't even have a door. Like this is my life, by the way. Like I have there's sofa there, there's the TV, like I don't even have a room, okay? This is where I've been grinding out since I started in the high ticket space. I was working here probably I was working every single day in from January to March, every single day. Average role play, community calls. I was studying everything I could. I did everything in my power, knowing that okay, I have to soon make a very hard decision:
Mm.
university or make high ticket sales work. And I had that wrestling in my mind, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to university. So that's why I stayed in here. I was grinding to the point where also my parents were like, do you have any friends? Like, do you ever go out? And I was like, I don't. I don't. I was doing the
But that's the
same
thing, you
thing.
wanted it. You
Yeah, yeah.
wanted it,
I
you
wanted it
know?
very, very bad. And so I stayed stuck here. Uh, and it kind of drove me crazy. And also in those 2 months, it was an up and down spiral of like me wanting to leave, maybe actually pursuing university, and back and forth, and then quitting for a bit because I was kind of burning myself out because I didn't have like a very strong why beyond that. Like I didn't have any, haven't like really think about any goals or like what I wanted to do. And then I landed the offer, and that's when things really started to pick up after a bit. But before that, I was just grinding my ass off here in this little cave of mine.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And you're still there, but you're moving soon, as we
Yeah.
you spoke about the other day. You're getting
Yeah.
your own place, which is great because you've been able to do that from uh, this. Hey, and that's the
Mhm.
beauty of it is like now you
Yeah.
can afford to buy your own, not buy, but rent your own place and
Yeah.
enjoy that. And you know, that just shows you how quick things can change.
Yeah.
Because a year ago, you were in a position where you were like the thought of going to university was still very real.
Yep.
And let's say that had happened, you'd be at university now. You wouldn't have
Yep.
the ability to travel like you do and work the
Nope.
way you do and make the income that you do. And not just that, but you wouldn't have the ability to get this place that you're referring to, right? And I think that's so awesome to see because when you look back, that's when you can really see like, damn, this was all worth it. And
Yeah.
my question to you to kind of wrap this up
Yeah.
is what advice would you have for someone who's probably similar to yourself when you started, sorry, and they're looking to get into this? Like, what advice would you have to them? Maybe they've just started, maybe they're about to start, maybe they're looking at getting started. remember where you were. Like try and give the advice in that perspective of you talking to your previous self, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I would say there's a couple of things, but what I would say, don't, I was isolating myself a lot,
Hmm.
but I had people online, like you guys, the community. You should have someone you can lean on when things get tough and talk things out with. There's a lot of people in the community that are literally like, I'm very, very good friends and very close that I talk to on a daily basis because I was basically battling demons and trying to figure out everything on my own. But I realized, hey, I can just talk to these guys. I mean, they're pretty much in a similar position. So
100%.
joining the community and like talking with these people made way more sense. It cleared up my mind a lot more. So I would say communicating with someone who's in a similar position than you is a very good point to start, just so you're not have everything in your own head. And the second thing is having clear goals. You need to know exactly like what we're aiming for here. And if you can gamify and do like what I did with the like it's either university or this, like if you can do some of that in some way with anything in your life, I think that makes it a lot more fun. A little scary, but it makes it a lot more fun. It's a lot more on the like stakes on the line,
Yeah.
and you'll work way harder that way, I would say.
Mm.
Also making sure you're not burning out at the very
Yeah.
beginning because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people when they start they're like they're optimistic and they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do a lot, but trust me, like start small and then build your way up, but you want to make sure to not burn yourself out as well.
Hmm.
So
100%. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I guess on that, you've obviously mentioned the community.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what do you feel like has been the biggest help for you? Um, the commute, like with when you look at everything that we obviously do and provide,
Yeah.
what do you feel like has been the biggest help for you to get to where you are today?
I feel like honestly, I feel like the one-on-ones and like just having you guys there as the professionals,
Hmm.
but also people like being levels above where I am, like Adrian. Like at the time, I remember talking to him and him giving me very good advice and also kind of avoiding those beginner mistakes
Hmm.
helps a lot. Like I skipped a lot of things because of that and it helped me learn things if I did on my own would probably take a lot more time.
Yeah.
So, having you guys there and like being able to ask any question whenever, because you guys have already done those things, right? So investing into yourself and like talking with people or surrounding yourself with people who are way above where you are is is just a cheat code, honestly, because
Hmm.
it'll take you way much further.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And long may it continue surrounding yourself with those types of people, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm a big believer in that. It's like you got to keep going. The levels don't stop. Once you're now at a point where you're making just shy of 5 figures a month appointment setting, but soon you're going to be at the level of making 5 figures a month closing. And we have a ton of people doing that, but then past that, maybe one day you want to start your own business. Then surround yourself with business owners, right? And you're already doing a lot of that work now. You've built a very good network,
yeah,
and long may it continue. I'm very excited, like I said, to see the transition into closing and be there for that because it's going to be super fun and exciting because that's where we really like to work. But I'm very
yeah,
proud of how far you've come, man. Like, really having this conversation was super cool to really just understand things because there's some things that I didn't know. Like the Etsy thing, I had no idea that you did that before.
bro. I was doing everything in my power to just, bro. I want to become rich. I want to become rich. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. I did a lot of stuff, man. I tried a lot of stuff out.
That's funny as hell. But, dude, like I said, long may it continue. Proud of you. And we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we are.
Let's make it happen.